to you by visitlauderdale.com.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim sauce with the awesome bay, with shafafa on the side.
Happy Thursday.
Pre-Friday. Cheers.
Happy Peruvian Independence Day, everybody. This is Mike Mayo, along with Neki Mohan of Visit Lauderdale, coming to you live today with a very special holiday edition from Bravo Peruvian Kitchen.
Happy Independence Day. I'm going to shout out to Gonzalo Rubio from my office, who's Peruvian, and Yvonne McMillan, both Peruvian people in the Visit Lauderdale team.
And according to my fabulous friends at Google, it commemorates the day in 1821 when Peru became an independent country after a long and violent struggle against Spanish rule. And it's actually a 2-day celebration in Peru because it starts today, and then tomorrow they honor the Peruvian military and other things. But we're going to get the ball rolling today with our Pisco Sours and say salud and viva Peru.
Hey, viva Peru. And this is non-alcoholic, correct?
Oh, absolutely not.
I don't know what they're feeding me. But the good thing is that, you know, we always say in South Florida, there's a taste of somewhere everywhere.
Ooh, that is some strong non-alcoholic beverage right there.
And it's so nice here in Coral Springs, all the way west. We're like up next to the Everglades.
9711 West Sample Road is the address. I was looking for it. And we're going to be talking in a couple of minutes with the lovely co-owner, proprietor Vanessa. And she runs it along with her husband, Dennis.
Yeah. And this is actually an expansion because for 14 years, they've had this restaurant in Wilton Manors. And everyone knows it well. So they're really excited that, you know, their Peruvian flavor has come out west. And there's something for everyone under the sun.
Every dish under the sun, everyone under the sun. That's why we're here on Thursdays with the Visit Lauderdale segment. And look at this. We have already in celebration, we've got platters on platters coming out. And I'm going to have to clear out my other computer now that all the research is done for today.
Now we're talking.
And we've got, look at this. It looks like the classic Lomo Saltado, which many people who go to Peruvian restaurants in South Florida know. It's basically the sauteed beef served atop the French fries with a little bit of tomatoes and the rice on the side, and then it looks like we have one of the Peruvian chaufas.
Yeah, this almost looks like Chinese food.
Well, so that's the thing about Peruvian cuisine and why I love it so much. It is a blend of the different continents and cultures because Peru, for people who know, had a big influx of people from China and also Japan. You know, the whole Nikkei cuisine is big there. The chaufa cuisine is it's kind of the mix of the Chinese and the Peruvian. So you get a little bit of blend of everything, the South American spices, and some of these dishes that are kind of a twist on Chinese fried rice. They also have dishes here at Bravo Peruvian Kitchen and many other Peruvian restaurants that also incorporate like Italian. They have these pastas along with like a pesto type sauce along with strips of tenderloin and things like that. So that's why I love it, because when somebody says, oh, which continent would you, if you can only eat one food's continent for the rest of your life, which would it be? Sometimes I say South America because it has everything. All of them in there.
Yeah, it's everything there. But that's what I really can appreciate, because as we know, the places next to them like Guyana and all these, they also have different versions of Chinese food as well that often, and everybody thinks Peru, you always think, oh, ceviche, right? And while their ceviche is excellent, there's also so much more.
And we're going to be seeing some ceviche later today. And again, that's it's a perfect summertime dish. I mean, every place in Florida seems to have sushi on the menu.
Yeah.
And I say they should all have ceviche on the menu because ceviche is the best of all worlds. You get a little bit of that raw, cold, fresh fish, but a ceviche, it's marinating in this lime juice. It's called the leche de tigre, and it gives a really good, vibrant pop. And so your fish is actually cooking in the lime juice, so it's not as hardcore as just raw sushi, but it also gives you that light and bright summer feeling. So we're going to be having some of that. So here in Coral Springs, and we wanted to get out west. The Wilton Manors one, which somebody on the Let's Eat South Florida Facebook group that I co-founded with the Sun Sentinel people, somebody went to the original one the other day and wrote a rave review, and I was like, what perfect timing. We're going to be out here in Coral Springs, and they opened, Vanessa and Dennis opened this place about less than a year ago, last September, as a matter of fact, and it was because they have family here. They have 3 kids. They've been in the United States a long time now. I think they were saying 22 years. And like any family that lives out west, they wanted to make things a little more convenient. So,
and they wanted land, and they wanted space
schools.
to grow in.
Yeah,
those kids need schools and all that too. But what a blessing for the folks here in Coral Springs who are obviously really excited to have it here because people were in here ahead of the lunch rush. And
today's a big day. Dennis says he got a huge catering order to fill. That's going to be for a Peruvian, family or a gathering celebration for the Independence Day later today. They're also expecting a big crowd in here all day. And this place is interesting because I saw the hours. I thought it was a typo. It says 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Yes.
And I came in here the other day to do a scouting mission, and Defo gave me a little bit of he gave me a little bit of the business, like, oh Mayo, you got to go out and go get freebies every. I was like, no, I pay for my own dishes when I want to check places out and see if they're good, and then if they are, then it's
our vetting process for this segment is on point.
Yeah, Lunchbox approved. First of all, you got to get it past my mouth and belly, which is it's a pretty high bar.
Palate.
Yeah, and then we also do our due diligence, make sure that everything is clean and up to snuff as far as the latest health inspection reports, because we want to send people places that are Lunchbox approved and visit Lauderdale. Also, we care about these things. So the other day for lunch, and I got to mention, so they're open 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. They have a breakfast special. They serve all day a Peruvian breakfast, which
what is a Peruvian breakfast?
A Peruvian breakfast is something which I should know, but I don't have the menu in front of me. But they also have empanadas and breakfast empanadas that are, I guess, very popular. So people come in here for their coffee, and we're going to ask Vanessa what a Peruvian breakfast is.
The owners are going to join us shortly.
You think I know these
things. We sound like bumbling idiots. But the truth is, we're smart enough to know who to ask these questions of. But no, it's the height. It's August 1st is a big day here at Visit Lauderdale. You know that, right?
Well, I know that because that's going to be the the official start of Dine Out Lauderdale, which is also part of Lauder Meals.
Lauder Deals.
Lauder Deals.
This is all you think about is food, isn't it? Lauder Meals. Talk
about a Freudian slip. Yeah, it's Lauder Deals, and I always said the food part should, the natural could be Lauder Meals, but it's Dine Out Lauderdale. I know that. It starts August 1st. It runs all through the months of August and September. And yeah, if you want to talk about that now, because it's in conjunction with the Lauder Deals, which are still ongoing, which is the great deals on the hotels and the attractions like Butterfly World. It's actually just ramping
up. We're in the middle of it.
It's just
because when it comes into August, most of our partners in the county are really ramping up their specials, right? So this is the perfect time right before the kids go back to school. You're getting the last bouquet, and a lot of people aren't leaving. Like my friends I talked to were like, airfares are crazy, so they stayed at home. So now it's time to, spend that vacation money on treat yourself. Go out to go to visitlauderdale.com/lauderdeals, and you can go and take advantage of the deals at our hotels, our restaurants. I was seeing the AC Hotel Marriott Fort Lauderdale Beach was offering like a deal that included not only a stay, but meals at some of the new restaurants, Sushi by Boo, Sushi Garage, also Planta Queen.
I was
Have
looking
you been
at the
to Plant the
list.
Queen yet?
I haven't, and it's high on my list, and
Not that high.
It's well, no, I mean,
we've been talking about it for 2 months.
I know, and I looked at their Dine Out Lauderdale menu. It looked great. They had like
Excellent.
the edamame dumplings on there as one of the courses.
And Monday night they have all you can eat vegan sushi.
There you go. And again, I like any kind of cuisine, and Plant the Queen, I've been hearing nothing but positive things, and I am going to be getting out there. And the part of the Dine Out Lauderdale, again, I was looking at the menus. I know that some of the different publications out there put their top picks, and I'm going to be doing my top picks both on the Lunchbox
Dun, dun, dun.
and also on Let's Eat South Florida. But I was very happy to see places like the new Evelyn's at the Four Seasons Hotel is taking part, because that to me is the most exciting, and also just in terms of decor and atmosphere, I think it's probably one of the best. Oh yeah, I've been there, and I was knocked out.
I'm going there this weekend. There's a Women of Color Empowerment Institute conference, and we're taking part in. And it's at the Four Seasons.
They have a young chef there named Brandon Solomon, who helmed under one of this world acclaimed chef Mauro Calagreco, whose restaurant in Menton, France, was named #1 in the world one year, and he opened a place at the Four Seasons in Palm Beach. Brandon worked for him in Palm Beach, but also went to France. Now he got the job at, they pronounce it Evelyn's, not Evelyn's, I was told.
Okay, I'm going to try not to butcher that when I go there.
And it's got a high-end Middle Eastern stuff. So, and during the Dine Out Lauderdale, they have like a three-course menu that you can get things like classic hummus with a in-house baked stone-fired pita bread, a chicken shawarma, and then they have for dessert this almond basbousa, which is a Middle Eastern dessert. It has a little honey and all kinds of good stuff on it. The Dine Out Lauderdale lineup this year is very impressive. Yep. And they're adding restaurants by the day back all the time at visitlauderdale.com
you can go
/deals.
Right. Yes. I mean, you're going to go get a deal. You want to make sure that what's on the prefix menu is something you're going to eat. So I always scan through those menus. Yacht has something good on there. Canyon.
Yep. You know what else is on there? Like, well, there's
the Catherine's on there.
The Catherine is on there,
and they're starting lunch and happy hour.
That's beautiful. We love, obviously, we spent some time with Chef Timon.
I hope he sticks to the menu. He says he changes the menu all the time.
And they do seasonal stuff, but for the Dine Out Lauderdale deal, they have a number of options, and you can start with something like their heirloom tomato and burrata salad, which is just great. And then they have a short rib main course with summer corn, maple desserts. The Catherine is actually Marissa is his wife, and she makes some of the desserts there. And that's again one of the hottest and best new restaurants in town. Go to visitlauderdale.com/deals, and you can check out all the ways you can save on the hotel, spas, attractions, and now the full lineup of restaurants taking part. And there's some really good old perennials favorites like Cafe Max in Pompano Beach, and they have a spectacular array of offerings. Some places just give you a choice of 2 or 3.
And what I love about this too, you get to sample the ramp up to the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival, which is coming in January. Because so many of these folks will also be participating in that. And I was talking on local radio this week. I was saying, don't sleep on Fort Lauderdale. The dining scene is evolving here. It is diversifying. And it's a fun back. We're laid back luxury. That's what I call it.
It's always been here. It's just a matter of you gotta, sometimes do a little bit more of digging and going out and about, like into Coral Springs and going across some of these, strip shopping centers. And there are.
And if you don't do it, we'll do it for you. Cheers.
There is culinary gold in them there hills, and check it all out. visitlauderdale.com/deals. Hey, we're gonna be back with I guess Vanessa, who is the co-owner, and she'll tell us. Well, you can tell us what is the breakfast on the other side. If you see it right there at the bottom.
All-day breakfast. Desayuno Criollo, which means Creole breakfast. Crispy chicharron platter with tamal, fried sweet potato slices, salsa criolla, and French bread. That is a wild mix.
And that's available all day. Well, chicharrones, it's the different.
It's fried pork.
Well, and here it's not like the Cuban where it's the pork rinds. It's actually kind of slices of pork tenderloin, and they do a chicharron sandwich here that I think Vanessa and Dennis are preparing and going to be bringing out. And so it's more of a, instead of that crunchy, just kind of pork rind things, it's actually a nice sliced, succulent pork tenderloin. Right. So good stuff.
You had me at sliced and succulent.
It's good stuff here on the Lunchbox.
And
again,
we're having Pisco sours.
Pisco sours.
Is Pisco the alcohol?
Pisco is an alcohol, and it's a Peruvian beverage. It's made from something. And
something. We will ask the owners what we're actually
I should know these things, but
thank goodness we don't have any food
I'm
allergies.
Multitasking.
We would die on live.
My brain.
Oh
no, God, no. There's no such thing as a food allergy when you are a food critic and going around town with Visit Lauderdale.
Here's to Thursday, and here's to Peruvian Independence Day.
Yes, and the only thing we're allergic to here is bad food, and fortunately, we don't find any of that.
Nope.
So
we'll be right back.
Yeah, after these words on the Lunchbox. Looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more? Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo here for Costas Greek Eatery and Pizzeria. If you want to take a trip to the Aegean without getting on a plane and no need for a passport, just go up to 1940 Northeast 49th Street in Pompano Beach, just west of Federal Highway, just a little bit north of Sample Road, and you will be transported to Greece along with a New York-style pizzeria. They do it both so well. They got Greek specialties like gyros and souvlaki and the grape leaves and the spinach pie, and also great New York thin, crisp New York-style Greek pizza with pepperoni. Don't miss that one. And of course, spinach and gorgonzola. Costa is a great guy. He'll smash a plate, say Opa, and greet and treat you like family. Go to Costas. It's open every day for lunch and dinner. Tell him the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you.
That's insane.
All right. Well, we're back here on the Lunchbox again. Special Visit Lauderdale, everyone under the sun, every dish under the sun, remote edition, coming to you live today from Bravo Peruvian Kitchen in Coral Springs on Sample Road. And we're celebrating Peruvian Independence Day, which we know is the day in 1821 where Peru was liberated from the Spanish. And also, I was tripped up in the last segment about what exactly what is Pisco and a Pisco sour. We're joined now, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome Vanessa, one of the owners and proprietors of Bravo Peruvian Kitchen. Welcome to the Lunchbox.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
Good.
Yeah.
We are very happy that you guys are here to sharing some of our food, and especially because it's a very special day for us, celebrating our independence. Well, you're talking about Pisco sour.
Yeah,
it's made for Pisco. It's made from grapes, and our Pisco sour is our traditional national drink, made with fresh lime juice. Egg whites
on top. That gives it that special froth. I don't know if you can see it here in the cameras, but I love that because it's like drinking a beer. You get that little bubbles around your face and nose.
And we finish it up with some bitters, a couple, like 3 drops of bitters.
Nice.
And some sugar.
What does Peruvian Independence Day mean to you? I'm sure it makes you a little homesick.
Yes, exactly. And I think that, every Peruvian in the whole world celebrates Peru Independence Day, especially eating good food.
Yes.
We celebrate this way, and for us, we've been in this country for 22 years, so it really means a lot, to be spent with our people and try to do specials and go to different events, and it's part of our culture. You know?
Now, what's the traditional way that Peruvians? I guess you're from the Lima area. How would you spend Peruvian Independence Day back home? What happens there?
We do a little bit of everything, probably. We go to different shows. We like to travel a lot. I will say that it's vacations right now in Lima.
Okay.
So most people like to travel around different cities from Peru, especially with kids, because the kids.
So family celebrations, cookouts, things like that.
That's the way that I spend most of the my vacations in around this time in Peru is knowing different parts of Lima, celebrate eating food with the family, different parties.
Is there a traditional meal? Because like July 4th here, everybody's hot dogs and hamburgers and cookouts on the grill and fireworks. What's the traditional meal for Peruvian
So
Independence
many.
Day?
Probably it's I would say ceviche is the most popular, but also our regional food too. Stuff that are from different cities, not especially from Lima. The Lomo Saltado.
Mhm.
And we love seafood. I gotta say that probably today a lot of people like to celebrate eating ceviche and a nice cold beer or a pisco sour. Everything that has seafood for us, it means a lot. We eat lots of seafood too.
Now, I don't know as much about Peruvian food as Mike does. Tell me about the variety. I mean, it looks almost like this is like Chinese fried rice, and then you have the steak, which is very South American, and then you have like the ceviche. Tell me about all the cultures that go.
And we got the Chicharron Sandwich that just was a late arrival, and you can see this is not like the pork rinds that you find in the Cuban chicharrones. This is sliced. Was it like pork shoulder?
Pork shoulder.
Yep. And it's juicy, and I used the word succulent before. I love these chicharron sandwiches. They're one of my favorite things.
Juicy and it's very tender. So in here we have the first thing is our ceviche. That's made with corvina. That's one of our most popular dishes. We made the ceviche fresh it's marinated with the lime juice. So the fish is cooked in lime juice, a little bit of garlic.
Some hot peppers too. Like I asked for spicy the other day, and it came out with that good little kick. So
we use different type of chili. We have so many. This one have rocoto blended with the fish. We top it up with some ají limo, which is also very popular and brings a lot of flavor.
And then what is this? Every time somebody comes here, they first get presented with a dish of these little, it looks like nuts, but it's actually roasted corn. Yeah.
It's called canchita. Cancha or canchita. It's sun-dried corn, and then it's fried.
But it's giant corn kernels.
Yes, you can see here.
Well, there's the choclo, right? The choclo, which is served in many dishes, which is the actual giant corn.
That's our corn.
That's kind of corn on the cob. But where do they get giant corn like that? It just grows.
Yeah. We don't have the little ones in Peru. We only have those ones, and they are very big.
Yeah, and I love the fried ones because it's like a potato chip, only better because it's corn and it's crunchy, and it just has great flavor.
And you know why we put this in the table?
So that you can drink more pisco sours.
Exactly. Or beers.
Cervezas.
Exactly. Make you a little thirsty.
Tell me about all the different cultures that make up Peru.
Yes, we have our food. Our cuisine is made from a lot of different cuisines of the world. Like for example, this one it's a Chinese fried rice, but we put a little bit more products in there. More we use by one we made in the wok with a lot of seafood. In this case,
I see calamari. I see shrimp,
octopus. Yes.
Yep.
What is the Chinese influence? There was a bunch of Chinese immigrants that came to Peru.
Around 19,000. We have a lot of immigrants that came from China. We also have a lot of immigrants from Japan.
Right, and that's the Nikkei. The cuisine.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
We actually also have now Nikkei rolls, which is our sushi with a little twist of Peruvian things.
Nice.
That we also have in our menu. We have influence from Italy. We have pastas made with a basil, like our tallarines verdes. It's a pasta that is made with basil and spinach, and we always top it with a steak. That's the way we do it.
Yeah, it's so good, and it's like forget the food halls. You come here, it's like you get the whole world's plate under. Just in one menu because you get that little bit of the Chinese.
Yes, our food is a little, I would say, a little complicated because we gotta have a sauté dish. Everything is made in the moment. Most of at least it's a stew.
Tell me about. Okay, so the other day I came in for lunch, and I forgot to mention you got these great lunch deals here. You have either a $14 option where you get a soup with a full entree, which is plenty filling. But I, of course, being me, I had to go full on. The $19 one includes appetizers like I had the Corvino ceviche. It was absolutely delicious. And I could have just stopped there. It was a filling enough. And then I got the second de res,
yes.
which explain for the people what second de res is, because it was fantastic
really
and
right?
hearty, and it warmed my soul.
Yeah, I told you it's one of the big favorites. Taco de res, it's braised beef. It's beef chunks that we cook in cilantro and dark beer.
So it's like a braised
Dark
beef
beer.
stew in
Mhm.
cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, might not be the dish for you, but I can't see how anybody wouldn't like this dish.
Uh-huh.
It was so flavorful and so
Yes.
tender, that beef.
Yes.
And then it's served atop.
Yeah, the traditional way to serve it is with our canario beans. Those beans that you try is canario beans. They're coming from Peru, and they're kind of close as navy beans.
Mhm.
Yes.
And with a side of white rice and our criolla sauce. Criolla sauce you're gonna see in different dishes, like for example in this pork sandwich, it's julienne red onions with lime and cilantro,
Uh-huh.
and that brings you a little fresh thing.
And
on
it
the
also had like a
dish.
sliced potato on
Yeah,
the bottom,
no,
right?
I love our carbs.
What is it with Peruvians? Because
Uh,
some of the chefs that go to culinary school here in the United States, they say you don't ever put double starch on a plate. You shouldn't have
Yes.
potatoes and rice or pasta and this. And you guys, look at this. We've
we
got
never heard
French
of that in
fries.
Peru.
You've got
Potatoes.
rice on the same plate. I mean, and I say,
Yes, that's
bring
the
it on. The
way
more
that's the way but yes, it's like that. You're right. We put a lot of starches on our dishes.
and it fills you up, obviously. And but for those people who are maybe carb averse, you could always make a special request and just have
Yes.
the beef and whatnot. But
Exactly.
I would
Or
say
like like a ceviche that
Yep.
doesn't have too
that's
many.
keto friendly. The
Exactly.
ceviches. Do you have anything? Let's say for vegetarians on the menu.
Yes,
yeah.
we do. For example, like the Chicharron Saltado, we can make it with only vegetables. It's something like this, or sometimes we do this also. Instead of the beef, we put portobello mushrooms.
That would be good.
Exactly, and it's
Yeah.
kind of vegan too because it doesn't have any dairy.
Yeah.
We can do. We have a quinoa,
Quinoa.
a
Yeah.
quinoa
Yeah.
veggie chaufa, kind of like that. Instead of the rice, we saute with quinoa, and we
Mhm.
only put vegetables, and we can skip the egg also.
And that's great. All
the
kinds of
customer
options.
request.
And I
yeah,
asked-
we
I-
always create different options for vegetarian. or
I
vegan.
imagine it's not as big a request here, but in Wilton Manors, I know that some more of the diners are more carb averse and things
Yeah.
like that. So
yeah, we like to create different dishes. Yeah,
Something for everyone.
Exactly.
How many Peruvians are there here in South Florida? Do you have a big Peruvian population out here in Coral Springs?
Yes. Well, now I know that there's a big population in Coral Springs. Now that I opened this restaurant.
Yeah.
Because we've been in the Wilson Manors location for 14 years. And when we decided to open the restaurant here, we heard people was waiting a lot in the other restaurant. I said, oh, we're going to be closed. The first day that I opened this restaurant, I was super surprised to see a lot of my regular customers from there here.
Mm.
And they told us, oh, now you're in the corner of my house. So yeah, really, really surprised me
Wow.
that there's a lot of Peruvian and Latin because this restaurant, well, everybody loves Peruvian food. We have a lot of American people, a lot of Colombian people. They live around that area too. And yeah, it's there. It's a big
I have to
population.
imagine South Americans travel a lot around South America in the summers
Yeah.
with their kids.
Yes, exactly.
well, it's wintertime there, right? So it's a little bit cooler.
Wintertime. It's it's actually it's
Hey,
cooler.
we forgot to ask talk about one
Oh,
dish.
okay.
This one on
What
the
is
slate.
that? Is that dessert?
This
or
is
that-
what they call
what is that?
a causa, right?
Causa.
Yeah. And explain for the fine folks out there
Exactly.
what is
causa?
a causa, and it looks really colorful
Yes.
and healthy. And I see a octopus
fresh.
tentacle right
Yeah.
on top of it.
I know. I thought it was dessert, and then I saw the octopus and
Yes,
the avocado.
yes. Causa is a traditional appetizer. You can do a causas with different meats. This one is an octopus causa. We also have a tuna causa made with
My
tuna
reach.
salad, or a chicken causa made with chicken salad. Causa it's whipped potatoes.
Yeah, like a mashed potatoes,
Exactly.
fluffy.
And they are infused with ají amarillo and lime juice.
Yeah, so that's the yellow pepper
Yeah.
that's indigenous to Peru, that
Exactly.
ayo
We
pepper.
took all the
And it's mild pepper.
seeds.
It's not a
Exactly.
spicy
We took all
pepper.
the seeds. We boiled the peppers here, and we took all the seeds to make it mild. We put a layer of avocado, octopus, and the sauce is very traditional to combine it with an olive sauce. It's black olive, aioli, a black olive aioli with octopus. It's a
Have you had this
That's
before?
what makes it purple. The purple is the.
it's
Okay.
a purple olive.
Oh wow!
I mean-
We were having a discussion about purple food the other day
Really?
because somebody made a blueberry mac and cheese at their food truck, and I was saying, "Oh my gosh, that you taste the olive. It's so savory."
Uh-huh.
And here goes.
That is a wonderful, wonderful aioli. And I can't wait to dig in to get the potato and the octopus and everything
Very
else
nice.
going on.
You
there.
gotta, exactly. You
I
gotta
didn't
always
expect
combine
that
it
it was going
together.
to taste like that. Very good.
Yeah, it's a tremendous dish. It's colorful, it's flavorful, and it's part of the reason why Peruvian food it's really exploded in South Florida. I remember, I moved here in 1989, one of those New Yorkers. I came from parts north, and Peruvian food was very exotic, and you didn't really see many of them. And now it seems like there's a Peruvian restaurant on literally every block in Broward. Can you just talk about that? And does that make you proud that it's been so accepted and popular?
Yes, yes. The Peruvian food started getting more popular through the years. When we started in 2008, we started as a small sandwich shop, and
With these, right?
Exactly, with our sandwiches. We got the very popular because we didn't find sandwiches, Peruvian sandwiches, here in Broward, especially. So that's the way we start, and then we start adding more Peruvian dishes to our menu because our customer requested. And then we start seeing more and more Peruvian restaurants opening because they're popular. People love our food. Our food start getting popular in all the world too. They're very popular restaurants in Lima are now one of the best restaurants
in the world. Yeah, they've been recognized by all these fancy, the food lists, the best restaurants in the world.
Yes. And I think that one of the reasons that now we see a lot of Peruvian restaurants because people really love our food. We have a really good variation. You can find seafood, you can find meats, chicken dishes. There's a little bit of everything in our menu. It's a little big.
No, it's something for everyone, literally. And
the menu's amazing.
And talk a little bit about the all-day breakfast, because I was mentioning, like, I was surprised to see that you're open at 10 a.m. and you said you sell a bunch of empanadas, and then also, what is this all-day breakfast?
Okay. Our traditional breakfast for Sunday, I will say a Sunday breakfast in Peru, it's made with a chicharron. Mm-hmm. It's like a chicharron sandwich, but in a platter. Okay. So we put a piece of tamal. We put the same chicharron slices in the plate.
Tamal being like ground up masa, corn.
Regular Peruvian tamal. Yeah. We put the pork. We put the potato slices. We put a piece of bread, the criolla sauce, and you make your own sandwich. Mm. So you're gonna have
no eggs involved. There's no eggs.
No, it's a chicharron platter.
It's a chicharron platter.
Now, in here we see that all Peruvian restaurants used to do it only on Sundays and sometimes only from 9 to 12. Mm. So when we open the restaurant, as I mentioned before, we open as a sandwich shop and we always have chicharron. We decide to incorporate in the menu that we are the only restaurant probably that have the all-day breakfast, the chicharron platter, every day. Anytime, because we are always making chicharron. We have it every day.
So talk to me about the French bread. What's the French influence in Peru?
We like crusty bread. all the juices that we put inside.
The woman after my heart, because as Defo knows, it's for me. It's all about the crunchy and crusty.
Crunchy.
I have seen it at other places on a roll, like kind of also.
It could be round. Yeah, it could be round. In Peru, we use a lot of round rolls too. But we wanted, most of the time that we fill up the sandwiches, they're very juicy. We also have in our menu the turkey breast. And that's we put it on the grill with their own juices, same as the lechon.
And for people who don't realize, on the bottom layer beneath it, and I can't really show it, it's that sweet potato.
Yeah, you gotta have that little sweet bite.
And again, it's that whole the starch. You got the bread, and then you got the potato, but it's a little different. It's got that sweetness and that really. It's a soft texture to go along with the crunchy bread and the succulent, juicy pork. It's one of the most. It's one of my
really good
favorite sandwiches out there. And August, you're talking about what's coming up in August. It's also National Sandwich Month, so I would suggest people hightail it out to one of the two Bravo Peruvian Kitchens
and try that sandwich.
Wilton Manors, Coral Springs, and have yourself one of these chicharron sandwiches, because that is really some good stuff. Yeah.
That is awesome. I'll have to take a picture of that.
Yeah. Hey, you can stick around for one more segment. We'll talk about maybe your husband and how you met and some of his culinary background and how you got into this whole crazy restaurant business after these words on the Lunchbox special visit Lauderdale, everyone under the sun, every dish under the sun, Thursday edition. People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans. For 30 years, they've been doing a great job. The original location, West Side, 3303 Sheridan Street, just across from TY Park in Hollywood. Then there's the East Side location, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late in both locations. Go there. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. This summer, enjoy the good life for less in Greater Fort Lauderdale with Lauderdeals. It's great deals on dining, hotels, attractions, spas, and more all summer long. So start planning your summer getaway or staycation online at visitlauderdale.com/deals and see all the ways you can save. From miles of golden beaches to pampering at celebrated resorts and great meals at local restaurants and bars, your dream summer vacation awaits. So shop Lauderdeals now at visitlauderdale.com/deals. Oh, hey.
We're back.
And we're back on the Lunchbox. Yes, we are here. Neki Mohan from Visit Lauderdale.
I'm getting all the
whole crew.
wires in the food.
And
so
we're here
good
with Vanessa Oliva, the
I eat with my whole body,
co-owner.
so the equipment too.
Yeah, no, and I'm Mike Mayo. This is the Lunchbox. Neki, Vanessa, myself. It is Peruvian Independence Day, and we are having a blast. I tell you what, I like this a lot better than that hot dog eating contest I had to do for the 4th of July.
Do Peruvians eat hot dogs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sausages, some of the this stuff is infinitely better. I tell you what, we were all blown away by the flavors, the presentation, the colors. These plates
and
are
the history.
beautiful. And the
I'm like the history and the culture because I'm not, I love ceviche, but I'm a really cooked food person. And like this blew me away. That blew me away. It's amazing. And the flavors and the chicharron.
And the fried rice is called chafa, and I misspoke before. The Chinese Peruvian cuisine is called chifa, and there's a bunch of some restaurants specialize in the chifa cuisine, which is specializing strictly in the Chinese Peruvian. But you have it all, and that brings me to how did you get to this point? Where did you and Dennis meet? And why restaurants? Because it's a hard business.
Yeah. Well, I met Dennis 22 years ago when first he got here.
Are you both here when you met?
Yes,
Okay.
we're both here. We're both
South
here.
Florida?
South Florida. Yeah, here in Fort Lauderdale.
Where did you
We've
meet?
been
Did you
over-
meet dancing?
No, through friends.
Through friends. Oh.
Yes, through friends. And we both been in the restaurant business. Me, I was working in different restaurants in here in South Florida as a server. And he's coming from their parents have owned a Peruvian restaurant in Lima.
In Lima.
wow.
Yes.
Okay, so he came from a restaurant owning background.
Exactly. See, his background. His mama is chef. Is a very known chef in Lima.
Okay.
And
so it
both
runs in
have
his family, the
experience.
genes. He's got the good chef.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now I have more experience. I like to cook, but I have a lot of experience in the floor. I've been working in restaurant my whole life, and Dennis has been knowing about the cooking techniques his whole life. So after probably 8 years, we decide to open a sandwich shop. We have the opportunity to open a sandwich shop. We start in a gas station, and we start.
Where was that?
It's in probably in Sunrise. Was in 441.
Okay.
Around 441.
Do you remember how much rent you had to pay back then when you first opened?
Probably like 500.
Oh, wow.
Those were the days, right?
So, yeah,
where you could start up a new business with just literally a couple of $1,000.
But that was probably a lot of money back then too, right?
Yeah, it was the perfect start because we only have a little grill. The first thing we gotta do is bake our turkey breasts, bake our roasted porks. with the Peruvian spices, find a really nice piece of bread, and put the criolla sauce on it. And we start with that, with the pork and with the turkey. And a lot of our friends start getting excited because it was the first time that they find finally Peruvian sandwiches. Then we found this little place in Wilton Manors, that's where we are located now, in 6th Avenue.
Where is that? What's the address there, please?
2925 Northeast 6th Avenue.
6th Avenue. So it's right off Wilton Drive, kind of?
Yes,
A little bit? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And we found this little store that was a catering place and was a small kitchen and a very small dining room. So we took that step and we decided to take it. And he started in the kitchen, I started in the floor, like I all the experience that I have. I used to work in a restaurant in Las Olas, kind of a fine dining. So I bring all the, the little details to every single customer.
Devil's in the details.
Exactly. So the first, probably the first 7 years, I was the server. I used to run the restaurant by myself. He was in the kitchen, I was up front. I used to have all the tables, and then we start incorporating more. The people start asking for more food. You guys cook so good. Can you do a Lomo Saltado? Can you do a Ceviche? Then we have fryers, and we start making jaleas, and little by little. Plus, we have the bless that the next door was occupied, so we start expanding. We have now 5 stores in Wilton Manor. We start with 1, now we have 5 altogether.
Wow.
And that's
an all-American success story.
That's a success story.
I love
That's a
to hear
Broward
it.
success story.
Now tell me again, you live out here, children, but you opened this restaurant just last year. Correct me if I'm wrong. Weren't we still like in the middle of a pandemic? And what were you thinking? And just
how's it been?
How's it been? Yeah, I mean it's packed in here now, and obviously now we've moved into a new phase, which is wonderful. But were you doing a lot of takeout delivery? Or?
We after during the pandemic, we started having our customers were busy. We have a lot of takeouts. And one of the first reasons is because we live very close.
Yes.
And I have small children. So when we saw this place, we thought that was the perfect opportunity because it's close to home. And a lot of people always asking to open a restaurant in this side of, on the west of Broward or a little bit north. They always ask
west of the university. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we found this place was perfect for us and we have the opportunity. We did it.
Yeah. And you're still here.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yes, and some of our customers, they used to drive 30 minutes, and now they live around this area, so they're very happy.
So they're taking care
and
of
they
you.
invite friends, and thanks God, it's been good.
Now you never opened in Miami. You have always been in Broward. Why?
We opened in Miami once, probably.
Once was enough.
Once was enough. Yeah, we never lived in Miami before. We opened next to the FIU before the pandemic. Wasn't the way that we thought was going to be. Plus, at that time, our kids were kind of little, and the driving was...
Yes.
Yeah, it's quality of life issues. If you have to spend 3 hours in a car every day.
Exactly.
Who wants to do that?
And especially when you can live close to home and you find you have such a receptive community, and there's so many Peruvians and
around
South
here,
Americans here.
Yes.
Why? Yeah, so... I'm glad that's worked out.
Yeah,
that's
no,
wonderful.
And you're open until 10. Don't South Americans eat late?
Yes, that's why we...
And they bring the whole family?
Yes.
Like, you'll see the kids running around at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. We thought that a lot of restaurants in Coral Springs close at 9. And that's one of the things that I always, before I open here, bothers me because sometimes I left the other restaurant and sometimes I want to eat something different from Peruvian. And by the time that I was here, everything was closed.
Right.
So... in the other restaurant, we close at 10, and the weekend here, every day is 10 to 10. And it's been good because, like you say, Spanish people like to eat late.
Yeah, they eat late, they party late, the kids are there, the kids are up late. It's wonderful.
So one of the things I like, this whole stretch of Seville has a lot of good restaurants of different kinds. You know, you got Runyon's is a perennial. It's been there forever, family owned. Arun's Indian Kitchen has been one of my favorites. And I just love when there's more choices on one block, and it's not, people shouldn't conceive of it as competition. It's something that attracts more people from a wider area to come in. And have you been finding a lot of people just like, that's how I kind of noticed this place, because I came to check out that new ice cream parlor that's next door, Let's Chill. Yeah. And I saw somebody eating one of your beautiful whole snapper fish. And it's like, that looks good. I have to come here. And sure enough, I did. And that's the whole beauty of when you have something that it becomes kind of a food magnet. So have you been finding that a lot of people just kind of wandering in because they've been driving somewhere else?
Yes, exactly. No, and I knew around this area that we also need, one of the reasons that we need a Peruvian restaurant, because I live here now for 4 years, and I usually go to the same places that you just mentioned. You know, there's good food around these blocks. So when we have the opportunity to find the place, I thought the same thing. It was a perfect spot for us, you know, to bring some Peruvian food here.
It's great.
I love the fact that you guys are talking because I'm just eating.
No, you go. And Defo, by the way, is very proud of you, how you've just like fit right into the whole lunchbox thing, because I'm usually the one that's just always like just putting food in my mouth, and Neki makes me feel like I'm not so such an outlier, because our
food
other
is to be enjoyed.
Our other co-host who takes Thursdays off, he's a long time professional. He says, you shouldn't eat on the air during the show, and I was like, the heck with that. If there's this good food.
If you're talking about food, unless you're enjoying it.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, I took a bite of this Chicharron sandwich during the last break. It is so good. I'm going to refrain, but it is time.
No, take a bite. Take a bite, and I'll talk to her. Vanessa, tell me about, do you go back and forth to Peru to see what's new and then incorporate it into your restaurant?
Yeah, actually.
What's going on in the food scene in Lima?
One of the things that we add to our menu recently, plus new thing, is the Nikkei sushi rolls.
Okay. The Japanese influence.
Exactly, the Japanese. But we keep both too. The ceviche is very popular because have a sauce, a white sauce that reminds you the ceviche flavor. We put a little bit of lime, celery, garlic, different spices that remind you that you eat in a ceviche. That's freshness.
And this is why Peruvian. Another reason besides being spanning the globe for the flavors and the influences, the temperatures. I mean, it's a perfect summertime food. You come in, you have a ceviche, and you have some of these Nikkei sushi rolls, and it's like you're cool as a cucumber. Yes. And then if it's a little bit cooler in the wintertime, you have some of these soups, that famous Peruvian seafood soup, or that second de res, which is a real good, hearty, stick-to-your-ribs dish. I mean, any season, any time of year, anything you want, that's why. Yeah. Peruvian gets the big thumbs up from.
I know, and I had no idea. My first introduction to Peruvian food was, and I think even though this restaurant is Brazilian, Sushi Samba, they had a lot of Peruvian influence and similar things like the big corn and stuff like that. So it's nice to see that, to learn more about the region and the influence of the Chinese, the Japanese, and of course all the South American continental influences. It really and it goes anywhere from street food to elevated.
Yes.
But street food is always my favorite.
Yep.
What is a typical Peruvian street food?
I would say probably the anticuchos.
I don't know if you've ever had that.
No, what is
I love it.
Don't
know what it is.
It sounds
what
sexy.
We should do, we're going to feed it to you. You're going to slice it. You're going to dip it in that nice, the vibrant, the green pepper sauce. It's so good. And then you'll say, what is it? It tastes like the finest filet of beef.
And they say anticuchos.
And it does come from beef or cow, but it's the heart muscle.
Oh, wow.
And
don't tell me what it is. Just feed me. Eat your heart out.
Do people try it, or are they still a little bit skittish?
They're skeptical sometimes, but I know as soon as usually they try when somebody else recommends it. Right. Oh, even the servers told them, I'm not afraid to recommend it. If they don't like it, it's not as strong. You're not going to find strong flavors.
No,
it's probably the texture, but it's really tender, like a fillet. And they marinate it, and we put it in the skewers, and we grill it. We serve with roasted potatoes and the corn, so you're going to have all those smoky aromas.
That's the classic Peruvian.
Are you guys going to be working all night tonight because it's Peruvian Independence and it's 2-day celebration, isn't it?
Yes, we're going to be busy all day. Tonight we're going to be very busy, and we celebrate 2 days. So 2 days of good food.
Awesome. Well, again, we thank you for having us out. Thank you for presenting all this beautiful array of food.
Congratulations.
Again, thanks to Dennis for sharing all his wonderful creations. And we're going to have to take a break. It's been a real pleasure. I know I will be out here. Mike Lubie, he lives around the corner. I'm sure him and his lovely wife will be stopping in. And we've got to take one more break, and then we'll be back to wrap up this edition of the Visit Lauderdale.
We finished already?
Lunchbox
Oh, my God.
After these words. You like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you.
On the Lunchbox, and what a surprise, you caught me with my mouth full. Defo, we miss you today because me and Neki and Lubie, we are just
When is he ever getting out of the man cave?
having a grand celebration.
Maybe we'll get him out of the man cave for the food and wine festival.
That's okay. He gets out occasionally, but man, I can't believe how flavorful and
I feel like
tender,
I got
all the
a history
speeches, the Lomo
lesson, a
Saltado,
food tour,
the rices,
all in the same day.
yeah, and it's just such a pleasure.
And it's so wonderful to be able to do it on Peruvian Independence Day.
Yeah, no, I mean, we are very culturally aware here. Obviously, Visit Lauderdale is all about everyone under the sun.
Well, that's the point of this segment. It's that, we know that there are lots of hidden gems in our community, so why keep hiding them? People want to know.
I tried to do it a long time.
And what brings people together more than a meal?
Yeah, and that's it. You can
Pisco
come
sours.
a place like this.
Marketed to me as non-alcoholic.
And I learned something new because I should know that Pisco is a fermented grape. It's kind of like a brandy type. When you go beyond wine.
Well, here comes Lubie.
Well, I'm just going to jump in for a second because I've been impressed by both of you as now professionals, but you get around town a lot, and I've lived here my whole life. You two have opened my eyes to so many spots that I did not know existed. Like, I live down the street from here, and my wife was so stoked when I told her, yeah, we're like 5 minutes away. It's a Peruvian place.
Yep.
Much like you, I never had Peruvian food until I was dating her. To know a place like this level, is this close, is really cool.
Well, and it's hard to know a place exists if it just opened less than a year ago. And that's why you always got to keep an eye out. This is what I did as a food critic. I would just drive around up and down different roads and notice, oh, that's new. I got to go check that out. And always keep an open mind because you never know where the next gem is going to be. And, some places I go in, not the best, and I'll say, all right, just not going to mention it. Don't say a word about it. Don't need to flame it on social media. But it's the places you go in and you're really impressed and say, wow.
Because people are putting their heart and soul into this.
Yeah.
I mean, her husband comes from an elevated chef background.
Yeah.
And she comes from a fine dining experience.
She knows how to relate. She knows how to work the front of the house, which is so important nowadays to have that proper manager.
But it should be the